Israel-Gaza Iran War news. Netanyahu said U.S. weaponry are key to defeating Hamas and deterring Hezbollah. Netanyahu said Israel needs U.S. armaments to defeat Hamas and deter Hezbollah. Netanyahu told Punchbowl News on Friday that these supplies are crucial to attaining common goals. It's important for our common military aims to defeat Hamas and prevent an escalation in Lebanon to a full-fledged war to have this supply, Netanyahu said. He said Israel would struggle to battle without these supplies, calling it a true war of survival and multi-front war against Iran. Netanyahu believes Israel will win this war against Hamas, avert a future war in the north with Hezbollah, and preserve our joint interests in the Middle East. He said there was a great lag in the distribution of the vital ammunition and weapons, not long-term supplies like F-35s or F-16s, to fast-win the Gaza war and prevent a conflict in Lebanon. President Joe Biden's administration and Netanyahu spat this week over Netanyahu's criticism of U.S. arms delivery. The White House called these remarks vexing and disappointing. Netanyahu aired a video on social media this week alleging that the U.S. has been withholding arms and ammunition from Israel for months. White House Press Secretary Karine Jean-Pierre said, "We truly do not know what he's talking about. Apart from one particular shipment of munitions, deliveries have had no further pauses," she said. This 2,000-pound bomb shipment is under consideration due to worries about its usage in highly populated regions. Despite growing regional crisis concerns, Lebanese media reported further Israeli strikes on al-Wazani in southern Lebanon early Friday. After Israel approved military plans for Lebanon, Iran-backed militants promised massive missile attacks, raising these fears. Israeli soldiers then shelled a residential building outside al-Nakura. More air raids targeted Marjian's Deir al-Sarian and Rab Tlatin and Aitaroun's border town overnight. Hezbollah fired 3 rockets into northern Israel on Thursday in revenge for an Israeli airstrike that killed one of its members in southern Lebanon. Hezbollah claimed multiple hits on Israeli military sites throughout the day. Israel stated that its jets had attacked 2 Hezbollah weapons storage sites and many others, and utilized artillery to remove threats in southern Lebanon. About midnight, the Israeli army intercepted an unidentified aircraft item from Lebanon. After 9 months of Israel's campaign against Hamas in Gaza, experts disagree on a wider battle. After a Hamas strike on October 7 started the Gaza war, Hezbollah and Israeli forces have escalated their combat actions practically every day. The U.S., an Israeli ally, has deliberately discouraged border escalation. U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken urged Israeli officials in Washington to avoid additional escalation in Lebanon and seek a diplomatic settlement that would allow Israeli and Lebanese families to return home. In a recent broadcast, Hezbollah leader Syed Hassan Nasrallah threatened significant rocket assaults on Israel and cautioned Cyprus against aiding Israel in Lebanon. Cyprus government spokesperson, Konstantinos Ledambiotis, called charges of involvement in the clash totally groundless. British and U.S. Marines on Cyprus are fighting Yemen's Iran-backed Houthi rebels, who have attacked Red Sea ships. Israel increased its military strikes in Gaza, killing at least 37,431 people, after the Hamas onslaught killed 1,194. An increasing humanitarian catastrophe and casualties on both sides have prompted UN and U.S. calls for de-escalation. Hezbollah and the Houthis say they're retaliating for Israel's Gaza operations. Israel's approval of a Lebanon offensive and Hezbollah's threats keep regional tensions high. Given Lebanon's political and economic uncertainty, some Beirut citizens doubt war will happen. In Israel, public pressure on the government